Namaste, Witchlings. How's everybody doing today? I'm in a mood. I apologize that we're a little late. We have been setting up something for later on in the stream. Stick around to see what we've been doing. We are going to have a whole lot of fun today. Hello, Luke. Hey, Raven. Oi. Look, this is part of what we're doing later. Say hi to Cat. There's cat hair in my coffee. I don't care. I'm so glad you're feeling better, Raven. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, it's the Wonder Woman shirt today. It was either Wonder Woman or Perry the Platypus, and Wonder Woman won out today. No, we'll play with Cat today, and then next week we'll bring you in. I wanted you to have a little bit more time to recover. My ear is itchy. You are very welcome, hun. So this one is itching. My arm is healing rather nicely. This one, like I said, is itching. I've caught myself scratching it a few times, so that's fun. We are prepped for our event tomorrow. Obviously, we're not completely ready to go. Was it a masculine voice or a feminine voice? Luke says, what was the voice? Ah. Yep, it was probably my husband talking to the dog. Raven confirmed, yep, it was you. Raven would know. Where is Sarge? Ah. Little Puppy Mans was snoozing on the couch. He is so happy that couch is not occupied 24/7 now. Yep. If I don't keep his volume turned down, y'all can hear him very, very well. Thank you, Hammer. Yeah, my microphone is really sensitive. Because I wear the earbud on the right and the microphone is on the left, and it still picks him up. Hey, Andrew, welcome back. I do not. We're bickering about the fact that I have his volume on my laptop turned up to the point that when I'm not wearing an earbud, he can hear himself in the other room. Hey, Mimi. I'm proud of you today, Mimi. We will talk more later. And I was about to say the only one missing is John. Hey, John. Why the fluff? It's only supposed to be at 100 max, even for you. Holy sheepskin. I actually managed to write my tarot journal today. Yay, Raven. Oh, the way I just said yay, Raven came out Red Robin. Oh no, John, I am so sorry. Yes. Well, Cat's here. We gotta, oh shit, that reminds me. I need to make sure Cat does the story. Yes, you are not wrong. We'll be talking about that today, though. So, I'm going to do my digital housekeeping. Please be mindful of the energy you bring to my space, and you will be respectful in my chat. If you are not respectful in my chat, Arnold and the mods will be finding your ass with the ban hammer.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Now, if you have been here for the previous week, you are aware that we have started our Tarot 101 journey, and we are introducing a new segment that we are calling Witches Around the Cauldron after class, where I am going to be talking to some of my friends and family who are also tarot readers. Some of us are experienced. We're going to have Kat's Corner. Kat is a brand new reader. I think you've had your deck for what, a year? Maybe 2 at this point? And yeah, so we are starting this segment off with Kat, our new reader. Hopefully next week Raven will be able to join us, and then I've got 3 or 4 other readers that we're going to bring in, and eventually we're going to have just kind of a round robin where we talk about the week's classes. So this week I figured I'd bring the newbie in because we're talking about how to get started. All right, my lovelies. Yes, she did get a new deck for graduation. All right, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. The man behind the curtain's coffee broke. All right. Here we go. Every great harvest begins with a single seed. Today, we're exploring what it means to take that first brave step toward the life you're meant to create. We'll talk about new beginnings, steady effort, and why small intentional actions often grow into the biggest transformations. If you've been waiting for a sign to begin, today's reading just might be it. Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome to another cozy afternoon coffee and cues where we sip, share, and stir a little soul into our mugs. Now, go grab your favorite crystal. I am going to play with a heart-shaped quartz crystal. Grab your favorite crystal, light your favorite candle, or some incense for that aromatherapy. Cozy up with your coffee, tea, or whatever brew fills your mug, and let's step into today's conversation. A reminder that if this space resonates, please do not forget to do the whole like, share, and subscribe shebang, as it helps our Witchling community grow. Yay! Speaking of growing that community, you can also join our channel here as a Witchling member. Your membership helps me keep creating all of this magic, and it lets us stay connected in deeper, more meaningful ways. So if you are feeling called to support our channel and you have the financial means to do so, please tap that join button and come on in. We would love to have you here. We have a birthday today. Yay! I'm actually really proud of my friend here. He's accomplished a lot in the last few years. So my high school classmate Brett is celebrating his birthday today. Brett, we are getting old, and you are an amazing person who deserves nothing but the best. Happy, happy birthday, Brett. Come on. All right, that is our birthday for tomorrow. So for the 18th, I can count. So birthday for the 18th is Brett. And then 2 high school classmates are celebrating their birthdays on the 19th. I can count. On Sunday. We have Izzy. Izzy was in choir with me, and he is such a kind human being. And then another classmate of ours, Mark, is also celebrating his birthday. He is kind and humble, and I am so grateful he is my friend. Happy birthday to Izzy and Mark. And we hold our candle for Mimi, who is dealing with some shit. We're holding our mod Andre in our hearts as she remains unhoused. We are thinking John and his loved ones right now. My friend Jenny, who is dealing with some new diagnoses or potential diagnoses. Our mod Nicole's kiddo, who is dealing with some stuff. Our witchlings, who are living with the heat waves all over the place right now. And for my sister veteran Tiffany, who is recovering from surgery. As I light this flame, may it shine as a beacon of hope for those finding their way through the darkness. And with the lighting of our candle, our circle is closed. We extend an invitation to the ancestors to join us on today's adventures. Holidays. It's time to see what holidays and observances are popping up for us. Ooh, boy. We're starting with an important one. World Listening Day. World Listening Day invites us to slow down and truly hear the world around us. From birdsong at sunrise and rustling leaves to the voices of loved ones, every sound tells a story if we take the time to listen. The day also encourages deep listening to one another with empathy, patience, and respect. Whether you spend a few quiet moments in nature or simply give someone your full attention, listening has the power to strengthen connections and deepen understanding. Next is a fun one. It's National Woody Wagon Day. Now, this day celebrates the iconic automobiles known for their distinctively wooden body panels. Popular from the 30s through the 50s, Woodies became symbols of family vacations, surf culture, and classic Americana. Car enthusiasts proudly restore and display these timeless vehicles, preserving an important piece of automotive history. Today is a perfect excuse to admire vintage craftsmanship, attend a classic car show, or simply appreciate the nostalgia these unique wagons inspire. Our last Saturday holiday is Nelson Mandela International Day. This day honors the life and legacy of a leader who devoted himself to justice, equality, and reconciliation. Celebrated on his birthday, the day encourages everyone to make a positive difference through acts of kindness and service. Whether volunteering, helping a neighbor, or standing up for fairness, even small actions can create meaningful change. Mandela believed that each person has the power to improve the world, and today reminds us to put that belief into practice. My lovely witchlings, those are today's holidays. How are we weaving them into our magic? He found his ear and startled himself. Oh, yep, John's early today. Cool. Haha. Stick around and we'll add we'll add your name to the list. All right. Shall we do Sunday? Sunday. Apparently, I'm not the one who forgot it was Friday this week. That makes sense now. Yep, we know our schedules, and this one you just messed with his head. Yep. All right, here we go. Now we're going to do Sunday's holidays. Stick around. It is time to take a look at what holidays and observances we've got popping up today. We have New Friends Day. This is an awesome holiday. New Friends Day is a reminder that meaningful connections can begin at any stage of life. Whether you meet someone through work, a shared hobby, your neighborhood, or even an online community, every friendship starts with a simple conversation. Opening yourself to new people broadens your perspective, creates opportunities for growth, and often leads to unexpected adventures. Today, smile, introduce yourself, reconnect with someone you've recently met, or simply be the kind of person you'd love to have as a friend. Now it is Stick Out Your Tongue Day. This one I couldn't resist. Stick Out Your Tongue Day is a delightfully silly celebration that reminds us not to take life too seriously. Around the world, sticking out your tongue has carried many meanings, from playful teasing to cultural greetings and even expressions of surprise. Today is all about embracing humor, sharing a laugh, and letting your goofy side shine. Snap a funny selfie, make your friends giggle, or simply give yourself permission to be a little ridiculous. Sometimes laughter really is the best medicine. And then because I particularly enjoyed the Coffee, Tea, or Me books, I decided Flight Attendant Safety Professionals Day was our third Sunday holiday. This day recognizes the highly trained aviation professionals who do far, far more than serve drinks and snacks. Flight attendants are first responders in the sky, prepared to handle medical emergencies, evacuations, security concerns, and countless unexpected situations while ensuring passenger comfort and safety. Their calm professionalism helps millions of travelers reach their destinations safely each year. Today is a wonderful opportunity to thank these dedicated crew members for their expertise, service, and commitment to keeping everyone aboard safe. Those are our holidays today. How are we going to weave our magic into them today? Yeah, that's usually how it works. Yup. Premjit, they are prescription, and unfortunately, Zenny retired them. However, there are plenty of really cute frames that are similar at iBuy Direct, Zenny, and a couple of other places that I can't remember off the top of my head. A sharp major, yes. Why am I feeling funny? They screw people over to the point of making them homeless. Yeah. Dude, there are so many political rants I want to go on right now about multiple different administrations in the world right now, but I'm going to be a good girl and not rant and rave. I saw it. He's being a smartass in my ear again. Tomorrow we are pretty much ready to go. I try not to, I don't talk politics on this channel except on Tuesday nights. And I missed Bitchin' Witch this week because there was a protest here in town. There is a white Christian nationalist preacher who is running for state office. And one of the organizations he belongs to or is affiliated with is one of them that wants to repeal the 19th Amendment because they feel that husbands should be the one, the head of household and be the only one to vote for the household. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But, oh, John, you have nothing to apologize for. You are stressed the fluff out and frustrated, and rightfully so. Oh, let's see what else someone do. Oh, we are mostly prepped for tomorrow. The man behind the curtain and I just need to figure out the design for the spell cards. And other than that, I think we're good. I am so excited. This is a new market for us, and I'm getting to meet someone I haven't met. I haven't met face to face yet. Thank you, Hammer. Hey, Scott. But I'm so excited about this event tomorrow. Do what, huh, babe? Oh, he doesn't have his ears on yet. Yes, I'm bringing the little round tables. Nope, we don't stream tomorrow. We're not even going to be home tomorrow. I was given the opportunity to start vending at a new event, and it's the first and third Saturdays of each month. This month it wasn't the first Saturday because, it was the 4th of July and everything. We getting to go to this one. We have been wanting to do this event for like 6 months, and we finally got in. All right. Are we ready for some divination? I am. All right, there we go. Namaste, my witchlings. Welcome to our divination segment. It is Friday.coffee and Q, so I am using my matching tarot and oracle decks, and it is the Everyday Witch set. So let's see what the witches are saying today. We start with our oracle card. Plant the seeds. Look at the kitty. But plant the seeds. All things that grow have to start somewhere with seeds, both actual and metaphorical. Whether it is the seed of an idea, a new beginning, or a garden of magical herbs, you have to plant it and then nurture it well to get the results you want. Caring for your seeds takes effort, but sometimes the biggest challenge is having the courage and forward momentum to plant them at all. What seeds are you planting in your life? So here's an action we can take. Plant a seed. Heck, plant a dozen. They're small. Do you like flowers? Then plant flower seeds. You like to cook? Hey, plant culinary herbs or a simple vegetable like lettuce or spinach. They grow fast and give you nearly instant gratification. Want something magical? Plant the seeds for magical herbs, or if you live where it is warm and dry, even the white sage used in sage smoke cleansing sticks. Or, of course, you could start on a new project. That counts too. Plant the seeds for anything that will grow over time and bring you joy. The divination with this card. This card probably isn't telling you to plant an actual seed. Instead, it suggests that it is time to start that it is time to start something new. It is time to look for a new job, embark on an adventure, or encourage a budding relationship. Plant the seeds for future growth in your life, even if you have to start small. Is there some project you've been considering? This card is a hint that it might be time to take the first step. Now we have our magical interpretation here. Most witches use herbs and other plants in their magical work. Growing them yourself gives you a chance to put your energy and your intentions into them from the very beginning, which makes them even more powerful. Choose an herb that is easy to grow, most of the common ones are, and prepare some soil in your garden if you have one, or in a pot inside if you don't. Press the seeds firmly into the soil while saying, "Element of earth, receive these seeds which I dedicate to positive magical work. Nourish them and strengthen them and bless them with your power, so mote it be." Don't forget to tend them with extra special care afterwards, and thank the plant when you clip a bit for magical work later. That, my lovely witchlings, is our Cozy Witch Oracle card today. Everyday Witch. Can't remember which deck I'm using. And now we get our tarot card from the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. And that is today the 8 of Pentacles. Diligence and attention to detail help to hone our skills and lay the building blocks to a successful future. If you could talk to the witch on this card, she would probably say something like, anything worth doing is doing well. The Eight of Pentacles isn't just about working for money or success. It is about bringing your best self to the task. There is satisfaction to be gained from knowing you are doing the best job possible, whether or not you are getting rich doing it. This card is about bringing passion to your work, whether it is something professional or a craft or even tending a garden. There's the garden again. Put your heart and soul into whatever you do, and success is sure to follow. Some things to consider. Are your work and your passion the same thing? If they're not, are you doing your best anyway? Can you find ways to make your effort be its own reward? What do you work at that makes you happy or proud or both? Is there a challenge in your work, something that will help you to develop skills that will serve you later? If you feel as though you are not being appreciated for your efforts, is there a way to step up your game a notch? And don't forget to be proud of yourself no matter what others think. That is our tarot card for today. What do we think? Yup, now it's time for our affirmation. Today, I choose to plant the seeds of the life I want to grow. Every small step I take has purpose, and every act of care strengthens the future I am creating. I honor my dreams by giving them my time, my attention, and my wholehearted effort. I am starting over. I have now bubbled 3 times and I don't feel good. All right. Yes, thank you. Affirmation for today. Today, I choose to plant the seeds of the life I want to grow. Every small step I take has purpose, and every act of care strengthens the future I am creating. I honor my dreams by giving them my time, my attention, and my wholehearted effort. I trust that steady progress is more powerful than perfection, and that my dedication will bear fruit in its own time. I am building a life rooted in joy, purpose, and possibility. With patience, courage, and passion, I nurture what matters most, knowing that the seeds I plant today become tomorrow's blessings. That's our affirmation today, Witchlings. And that's our divination. Let's take a quick second to step into DieTheYogaWitch.shop. This is where magic meets movement and your growth is supported on and off the mat. This is a space for transformation where yoga and life coaching come together to help you move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose at a pace your nervous system can actually sustain. Alongside your practice, you will find handmade intention-infused jewelry and some fun Yoga Witch merch like coffee mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Yes, I included some goodies for our furry familiars, which your mama can't leave them out, so we can all carry a little bit of magic with us each and every day. Tarot and oracle readings are available when you're seeking insight, and there are a limited number of local services offered to those in the Puget Sound region, but the heart of this space is supporting your daily practice, your growth, and your connection to yourself. If something in your life is shifting, growing, or asking for deeper intention, please, this is your sign. Come see what we can create together at DieTheYogaWitch.shop. If you're enjoying this episode and feel called to step a smidge bit deeper into our coven, please feel free to tap that join button and become a channel member. There are some really cool perks waiting for all of my witchlings, and membership levels start at just $1 a month. How affordable is that? But we also understand times are tight right now for everybody, so if membership isn't in the cards for you right now, I'll remind you that you can still support our channel here for free by subscribing and sharing this video with a friend, and you can find all of the other ways to support me and everywhere else I am on the internet up here on my link tree. It's in the description box below as well. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get back to the show. There we go. Clunk. Nope. Damn. All right, hold on. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. Now to put my cards away so I don't lose shit. Wee. No, we're doing Tarot 101 today. The segment with Kat comes after stream. After the show, sorry. During stream, after show. My brain is just not braining well today. We are not firing on all syllables. Dunk. There. Yay. My things were put away. I'm a good kid. All right. Speaking of Tarot 101, thank you, Raven. Your timing was perfect. We're almost there. Oh, my gosh. Okay. It's just my imagination. Just my imagination. Put it away from with me. I am so glad you love the new deck. Yes, perfectionism is a curse. Believe me. I live with an oldest son. So, yeah. Trust me. I get it. Oh. Yeah. We've battled perfectionism for a minute. Wow. I'm not breathing well today, and it's kind of pissing me to fluff off. I'll be honest. I'm kind of tired of not breathing. Asthma's wonderful, I'll tell you. No, but something has my asthma unhappy. Because normally it's calmed back down by this time of the month. Hey, hydrate. Yes, hydrating is good. I see that. We have 100 views. Oof. Up at 6. Oi, I am so, that sounds like a hellacious day already, John. Oh my gosh. I see that. And I don't have the energy. I know why I don't. Anyway, I don't have the energy to be my normal perky self. So, it's going to be fun. Nine viewers. 2. It's 9 to 5. I have Dolly singing in my head now. Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome back to Witchy Wisdom, our little corner of the day dedicated to learning, exploring, and deepening our understanding of the craft. Now, whether you're brand new to the path or like me, you've been walking it for a hot minute, there is always something new to discover. So let's take a few minutes together here to explore the history, practices, tools, and traditions that help us build a more thoughtful, informed, and meaningful practice. We are wrapping up week 1 of Tarot 101. Learning the language, it's now time to pick up the deck. So we have made it to the very end of our very first week together. And before we wrap things up, I do want to leave you with one thought that I really hope you'll carry with you throughout this entire series. You don't have to learn tarot by memorizing tarot. You learn tarot by spending time with it. Think about learning any new language. We keep coming back to this, learning new language. You can memorize your vocabulary words all day long, but until you actually start speaking the language, listening to it, and using it in everyday life, those words never really become part of you. Tarot works the same way. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to smack the microphone. This week, we've talked about what tarot is and what it isn't. We've looked at some of the myths surrounding tarot and explored the idea that the cards aren't something to fear. They are a tool for reflection, self-discovery, and conversation. But eventually, you gotta shuffle, you have to draw a card, and now you get to sit with it. Not because you're expected to know all of the meanings right away, but because that's how relationships begin. I frequently tell people that every tarot reader develops a relationship with their deck. That relationship takes time. You'll notice little details in the artwork that someone else never sees. Certain cards are going to speak to you more loudly than others, and some cards will just instantly click. Others are going to leave you scratching your head for weeks, maybe even years. And you know what? That's okay. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is believing they have to know everything before they're allowed to read. You don't. In fact, I would encourage you to be curious instead of certain. Ask questions. What catches your eye first? What emotions does the card bring up? What story seems to be unfolding? What symbols stand out to you? Before you ever crack open a guidebook, spend a little bit of time just looking. You honestly might be surprised by how much your intuition picks up. Now, I also want to encourage you to be patient with yourself. Learning tarot is not a fork and race. You're not behind. You're not failing because you still have to look things up. I have been reading tarot for 30 years and I still use the books for my cards because I cannot retain the information yet. Brain trauma. But that's part of what keeps tarot so fascinating is the cards don't change. We do. As our lives change, our experiences change, and our understanding deepens, the cards often reveal new layers that we never noticed before. And that's one of the reasons people can spend decades with tarot and still discover something new. So this weekend, I'd like to give you all a little bit of homework. Not because there's going to be a quiz. There's not going to be a quiz. But because I think it's one of the best ways to begin building your relationship with your deck, with your cards. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your deck. You're going to shuffle it. You're going to ask a simple question like, what do I need to know today? And then draw a single card, just one. Spend 5-10 minutes just sitting with it. Notice what you see. Notice what you see before you look anything up. Write down your thoughts if you'd like. Start with in a tarot journal. Many of us keep those. And then compare your observations with the guidebook. You're not trying to be right or wrong. You are simply practicing paying attention. That's what tarot asks of us. Presence, curiosity, and compassion. Next week, we'll continue building our foundation as we begin exploring the structure of the tarot itself. Little by little, you're going to start to see how all 78 cards fit together to tell one incredible story. Until then, my lovely witchlings, be curious, be patient with yourself, trust the process, and please remember, every experienced tarot reader was once someone nervously shuffling a brand new deck, wondering if they were doing it right. The fact that you're here tells me you're already on the right path. I'm Di the Yoga Witch, my witchlings, and this has been Tarot 101. I will see you guys next week. Until then, stay curious, stay grounded, keep the heart fire burning, and go out and make some good trouble. Until next time, Namaste, witchlings. Oh, I know. I was gonna say I haven't taken an SSRI. Yeah, yeah. They don't work the way everybody thought they did, and I haven't taken one in 15 years ish. Anyway. Oh, I know I'm gonna be dragging ass tomorrow. Yep. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. I was in the middle of reading something, and you scrolled, and I lost it. Yes, as Raven says, talking about tarot. Every artist has their interpretation, and even each deck, by one artist or one. Well, the artist, yes, we're gonna potentially have different interpretations of their cards because the artist is the one who draws the pictures. The author is the one who actually creates their interpretation. But even between two different decks by the same author, yes, you can have different interpretations, which is cool and not cool. There are ways to learn what each card means. There are shortcuts if you want them. I have seen somewhere a poster that tells you what each of the major arcana are. And then going through the minor arcana, talking about what each suit means, and then each number has a similar theme through all four suits. Hammer and Sickle says everything you said can be used in basic life as well, especially on your intuition, on your surroundings. Yes, yes. That is one of the reasons I do a lot of what I do here is because it doesn't apply just to what I'm talking about. There are always multiple places where it can be applied. Hey, Amy. It's Amy. Hamey, huh? Hamey. Ah. That sounds that feels like Hamish, and no. I know it is. I have a card for her, so if you guys make it up to see us tomorrow. I interrupt myself, Joram. What are you doing, doggy dude? He interrupts me occasionally, too. So does this one. Oh, he is abandoning me. Apparently he wants the dark. I'm gonna go mope in the dark bedroom. I love my dog. Sorry, he kind of yelled in my ear a little bit, so I had to look and go, what the fluff? Apparently, he sat up in his chair, and his chair went whoop away from his desk. And he's kind of wired to his desk. Ah, bummer. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. Because it's from noon to 5, which is kind of nice. I was hopeful that it was going to stay. I was hoping that it was going to stay the late afternoon, early evening hours that it was. I was thinking about it. You are now sharing a brain cell with the man behind the curtain. I have handed you off, apparently. Mm-hmm. We'll probably we'll probably stop by on the way home if Kit Kat says yes, or Cat Kid, Kit Kat. Give me a break. Anyway, oh my God, where's my ADD going today? I hate my brain. It's being mean to me today. Kat is patiently waiting for our conversation that will happen during chillin'. We're having a day. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our self-care. Yeah, we are about to go into our last segment. So hey, y'all, you guys are lucky enough to be the live studio audience that this witch records in front of. So please stick around for coffee and cues, our post-show Q&A, general chit-chat after we wrap up recording our daily show. Here we go. He's thinking. Da, 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 da. That works. Okay. Woohoo! Sorry, I'm having a day. He's planning out loud. All right, here we go, my lovelies. Are you being autistic? His autism is showing. All right, my witchlings. Well, namaste, witch. Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome to our self-care segment. This is your gentle reminder that caring for oneself is not laziness, weakness, or selfishness. It's necessariness. So, let's take a moment together to talk about rest, balance, boundaries, and the small ways we can care for ourselves today. All right, witchlings. It is time for the Sanskrit bit. Don't know why I would say the Sanskrit bit, but y'all know what I mean. All right. This is where we explore the wisdom, philosophy, and deeper meanings behind the Sanskrit words and concepts woven through yoga practice and everyday life. So we're going to dive into this month's word and see what wisdom it has to offer us. Now, genuinely, it kind of feels like we just started talking about asana, and here we are wrapping up our, I believe, third week together. So over the past several days, we've explored this beautiful Sanskrit word from a few different perspectives. We began by looking at what asana actually means, not simply a yoga pose, but a steady, supported place from which we can experience life with awareness. We talked about what science tells us about mindful movement and the incredible ways it can support our nervous system. We explored the stories we've inherited about our bodies, and yesterday we challenged one of the biggest myths in modern yoga, the idea that there is no such thing as a perfect yogi. So this morning, or afternoon as the case may be, as we sip our coffee, tea, or peach sun tea, whatever's in your mug today, I want to leave you with one final thought before we head into our weekend. The purpose of yoga has never been to create a perfect body. The purpose of yoga is to tire the body out so you can sit in hours of meditation and to build a better relationship with the body we already have. Those are very different goals. Our culture, Western culture in particular, spends an awful lot of time convincing us that our bodies are projects that need constant improvement. Lose weight, gain muscle, look younger, move faster, work harder, be more productive, be healthier, buy this product, try that program, fix this flaw. It's forkin' exhausting. Yoga offers us a different question. Instead of asking, how can I change my body? It asks, how can I care for my body? That one shift changes everything here. Because maybe caring for your body today means rolling out your yoga mat and enjoying a full hour-long practice. Maybe it means stretching for 5 minutes before you leave for work. Well, maybe it means drinking another glass of water because you've been forgetting to hydrate. Hail, hydrate. Maybe it means taking your meds. Maybe it means using your cane, your walker, your wheelchair, your compression socks, or whatever support helps you live your life without apologizing for needing it. Maybe it means taking a nap because your nervous system has been running a marathon all week. None of those choices make you less yogic. They are the practice. And one of the things I love most about yoga is that it continually brings us back to the present moment. The body you have today is not the same body you had 10 years ago. And if we're fortunate enough to keep living, it won't be the same body 10 years from now either. Life changes us, joy changes us, grief changes us, illness, healing, all of these change us, and through all of those seasons, yoga has room for every version of you. You do not have to wait until you are stronger, thinner, more flexible, or earn your place on the mat. You have belonged there all along. As we head into another week together, we'll continue exploring asana from a new perspective, discovering even more ways this ancient teaching can help us live with greater freedom, compassion, and authenticity. Until then, I hope you'll notice your body with just a little more curiosity and a little less judgment. As you move through your weekend, I'd like you to spend a little bit of time with a question, though. What is one way I can care for my body this weekend? Not because I need to fix it, but because it deserves kindness. Sometimes the most profound yoga practice isn't found in a pose at all. Sometimes it's found in the simple decision to treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer someone you love. Thank y'all for spending another week with me, my witchlings. I look forward to continuing this journey with you next week. And that is our Sanskrit. Now it's time for harmony. Harmony. I can't not do that. That's hilarious. Harmony says, clear out clutter and clean up your space because expansive energies want to enter your life. Create your welcoming atmosphere. Removing out-of-date items and cleaning the corners brings a freshness to your environment and vibrational frequency. Allow your vessel to be awakened. You are ready for the next teachings, but first, you must clean house. Harmony. And now, the nations of the world. Anyway, Zen card. Zen is talking authenticity today. The planet Jupiter is the great benefic. Benefic. The planet Jupiter is the great benefic. Contributing energies that make things bigger guide us to seek the truth and expand that knowledge of the past. One more time. Authenticity. The planet Jupiter is the great benefic. Contributing energies that make things bigger guide us to seek the truth and expand the knowledge of the past, rewriting what was originally taught. Jupiter is a great reminder to always question the narrative. Authenticity is achieved when you honor this ability within you. Please, if it's safe to, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, fill the bottom of your belly, then fill your lungs, and exhale gently in peace. Keeping your eyes closed, remember a time you questioned something intuitively and it turned out to be correct. Think back to the feelings it gave you right before you spoke up. Ruminate on the feelings for a moment. When you feel ready, take another deep breath and exhale through an open mouth. When complete, repeat aloud, I am authentic. That's our Zen for today. And now it's time for some neighborly wisdom from Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers says, forgiveness is a strange thing. Forgiveness is a strange thing. It can sometimes be easier to forgive our enemies than our friends. It can be hardest of all to forgive people we love. Like all of life's important coping skills, the ability to forgive and the capacity to let go of resentments most likely take root very early in our lives. As always, Mr. Rogers is wise, and that's our neighborly wisdom. And now, it's time for our blessing. After I put my own, you know what? Today's blessing. May the earth receive every dream you are brave enough to plant, and may each intention you sow be nourished with patience, hope, and love. May you find the courage to begin even when the path ahead is uncertain, trusting that every meaningful journey starts with a single step. May your hands delight in the work before you, your heart remain connected to your purpose, and your spirit find joy not only in the harvest, but in the tending. May your efforts be blessed, your skills continue to grow, and your dedication open doors you never imagined possible. When progress feels slow, may you remember that roots grow in silence before blossoms ever appear. Walk forward with confidence, celebrate each small victory, and trust that the seeds you plant today are quietly becoming tomorrow's abundance. May your path be fruitful, your heart be steady, and may your magic flourish in perfect season. So may it be. Blessed be. Namaste, Witchlings. That's our blessing. And that is today's self-care. And now, my Witchlings, it's time to wrap up the show for today. And with the extinguishing of our candle, our circle is open. We extend our eternal gratitude to the ancestors for joining us today. All right. Yay. Putting stuff away. There we go. Hey, James. Haven't seen you in a minute. It was a blessing. Oh, Cass. James knows us. James is an old friend here. Haven't seen you in a bit. Yeah, Histius Muse is my astrology person. Whoops, that card doesn't go in there. That one does. Favorite book is The Princess Bride. Nice. I'm not the same body I was because I was 3. Yup. I know that feeling. What is a yogi? A yogi bear. Okay, so a yogi, you have yogis and yoginis, and yoginis are female yogis, and what it means by yogi is someone who is a yoga practitioner. And this is my take on yogini. If you go to the studio and just do a yoga class, but you don't embody any of the other limbs when you go home, that is not being a yogi or a yogini. That is working out. And yeah. Unfortunately, here in the States, many people think that is all there is to yoga. So, hey. Get this. James, Andrea is currently without a home. I am able to talk to her. I've got her phone number so I can text her, but at the moment she is not being able to participate in the streams like she was. Once she is back on her feet, she will be rejoining us. I try to touch base with her, if not once a week, at least every other week. I do need to touch base with her this weekend. Oh my God. James commented he likes the bell to put the candle out. It's not a bell. I can't pick this damn thing up without clinking it on something. So it's the candle snuffer that you're hearing chime. And that's why frequently, what is a yogi? A yogi bear, yeah. Hey, little chick. Duck, cat, Seattle Tower. Yes. Yeah. Technically it's the Space Needle, but yes, it's the Seattle. Wee. What? It is bell-shaped. But it doesn't have a clapper. I cling it either on the plate or the Yay, Cass! That is so awesome! Congratulations, that is freaking good. You got 2 months and you'll make a year. I am so happy for you. Go do what you need to do. Go live your life, hon. All right, don't turn that off yet, did I? Okay, so, do we want to... Yep. Then we're good. All right. Yeah. That's what he's saying, yes. I do. Coffee broke. Sad face. And I haven't brought a half rack of soda in here, so I can't just grab a drink. That's okay. I'm doing pretty good anyway. I don't even have a spare bottle of water. I'm shocked. All right. That's what I was just about to say. Let's go ahead and bring Kat in. All right. We didn't. Nope. Cat has questions. I answer questions. All right. Yep. Yep. The not twitchy in the coffee mug. Okay. Hold on. Yes, go ahead and ask your question, James. The rabbit's name is not Twitchy, and there is a story behind his name. I think James is typing, so. Hey, Will. For those of you who haven't been here in a while or who are new here, I am a mom. I have 3 biological, 3 non-biological, and countless bonus kids. My oldest child, well, all 3 of my kids are on the autism spectrum. And his name is not Twitchy. Getting to why. My oldest son's autism hyperfixation when he was like 4 or 5 was white rabbits. Webkinz came out, and Webkinz has a little white bunny. So my darling ex-mother-in-law bought one for my son so that he could have a white rabbit. He named him Twitchy. And because of the fact I had already lived through him losing his comfort object once, I bought replacements in case Twitchy ever got hurt or lost. Not realizing that my son could tell the difference. So every little white Webkin rabbit like this guy is now named not Twitchy. Because they were not Twitchy. And I have that one. I have one that's wearing a little blue or blue-green puffer vest I haven't seen in a while. There's another one of the Happy Meal versions of him sitting right here. Yes. It was for his twitchy little nose. My son has always been creative. So that is where not Twitchy comes from. Now the duckies that are sitting with the Space Needle Kitty, I picked those up at Pride. I'm getting the office back into such a condition that I can give you guys a tour again. But for now, let's go ahead and bring Kat in and start with our fantabulous new segment, Witches Around the Cauldron. Oh, excuse me. That was attractive. All right. Okay. All right. That works. All right, so it didn't start. Just hit start and we'll go. I know what I'm doing. I think. You were going to start recording? All right, so this is Witches Round the Cauldron after class. This is our once a week session where we're going to talk about what we've been going over in Tarot 101, learning the language. We're here with Kat this week. We'll bring her in a minute. She is our newbie reader. She's been reading for what, about a year now, hun? Yeah, about a year. So she is completely new to this. And I am sure that she has some questions that many, many, many newbies are going to be wondering themselves. And so I figured we'd start with her, get her questions, and we will talk about some of the stuff that we talked about this week. Yes, we are a safe space. All right, here we go. Bring me the child. There we go. Oh, now I hear her again. There we go.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can everybody else hear you? I'm guessing everybody else can. I see Appa.
How's it going? You said the child, and I'm like, I have the child poster, like, right in my ear view right now.
Sweet. All right, so.
It's amazing, because I have,
This is Kat. She's one of my bonus kids. She's the marketing director for Di the Yoga Witch and Yoga with Diane, and she is a brand new tarot reader. So, Kat, you've read everything that we've covered this week. What questions do you have?
Okay, dokie. So first, let's get into a little bit about you as a reader. Because, I mean, for me, I know you off of, there's still a lot of things that I don't know. Like, how did you get into it? You know, like, what is drawing you to, being a reader, you know, as a profession?
Okay. Well, my first experience with tarot reading was when my roommate in A school picked up a tarot deck herself, which is a long story behind that one, but she picked up a tarot deck and she was reading a mutual friend of ours, and nothing was making sense to the other friend. And then I came up and just stood behind my roommate for a minute, and the cards started, making more sense. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And I wander off again, and the cards stopped making sense. And, yeah. When they pointed that out to me, I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And we were planning on going to I call them craft stores because, witchcraft. So we were planning on going to the craft store the next day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick myself up a deck of tarot cards, and I love unicorns. I collect unicorns, have for a long time, and so I purchased the unicorn tarot deck, and the rest, as they say, is history. 30 years later, I'm still reading that same deck.
So with your experience, you got to know the different types of cards. Is there a specific card that when you are reading yourself or with a client, do you usually dislike or fear? But as you build your relationships with your deck, has it completely changed over time for you on like certain cards, what their meanings are?
Yes.
Or and if there's still like a card that's like, nope, and it's going to be a day.
Okay. First, thank you, Will. I see this jewel, the star. Thank you. Now, is there a card that I don't fear my cards? However, I have a healthy level of respect when the tower pops up. The tower indicates chaos. Shit's gonna happen and there is no stopping it. I've told the story of I drew the tower card 3 times in 1 week and learned that someone had died the day after I pulled it the 3rd time. So I'm a little more cautious when the tower pops up. But no, none of them really scare me or bother me. I have now started getting excited when the death card shows up in a reading because, the death card does not mean a person is going to die. It simply means this is the end of one phase and the beginning of another. When one door closes, one window opens. As far as has my relationship with the cards, any of the cards changed? Yes. When I first started reading, I tried very hard to do the Celtic Cross or one of the standard layouts. And for that, you pick a card from the deck that represented the person being read. So I would pick the one reading for me. And it was usually, I want to say it was the Queen of Cups more often than not that we would end up picking as my card. And today, I don't bother with the standard, any of the standard reading layouts. Cannot get them to work to save my soul. So my cards work my way. And today, if someone were picking a card that represented me, it would likely be the High Priestess. Because I have just grown and matured from being an 18, 19-year-old kid to being, a middle-aged woman. Thank you, Mimi. What's your next question, kid?
Oh, well, you kind of lead into it. So,
Okay.
when well, so you say that you do your own little spread. So like, and when what is some biggest misconceptions new clients come when they sit down at your table, and when you're doing that spread, what is and it's overwhelmingly negative or very heavy, how do you deliver that information to the client constructively?
Oh my wow. That is actually something we were just talking about with the Spiritual Professionals Association is how do we deal with giving a client bad news? Um Gently, of course. Have a good one, Will. So obviously gently. You don't just smack them over the head with it. Um if the reading has been indicating that it's going to get there to bad news, you start going, okay, this is starting to look kind of dark, and we're kind of diving into some of the shadow work here. Do you want to keep going? Are you ready to hear this? Um, if not, I can back off. We can wrap up here or continue. If they want to continue, I try to be gentle about how I deliver it, but I also will not sugarcoat because sugarcoating bad news doesn't help anybody. I'm not brutal about the way I share, less than stellar news, but such as okay, coming back to the death card. That can mean the end of a relationship, it can mean the end of an employment or any of this kind of stuff. And being able to say, "Hey, I can see some shadows in the reading here. Do you want to know everything or do you want me to keep it brief?" And that's the best I can do. All right, next question.
Alrighty. Now here comes some. This is something that I've been thinking of a lot, and when it comes to like the authenticity of tarot readings,
Authenticity?
is do you yeah, authenticity. Sorry, it's been a day for me. Do
It's
you
all good.
believe that certain pulp culture decks, like the Buffy or like Lord of the Rings deck, carry the same spiritual weight and
Yes.
intent as like traditional decks?
Yes. Actually, that is something I
And
was just talking about yesterday with
mhm,
picking your first deck. I have used my Buffy deck. I have used my Cannabis
mhm.
Oracle and my Pot Tarot. And they are just as accurate as any other deck. And yes, they hold this. They can hold the same religious and spiritual symbolism. Here's a reminder: you do not need to be a witch to read tarot. And honestly, the pop culture flavored decks are bringing more people in and getting people interested. So if picking up the Hocus Pocus deck or the Neopets deck or whatever, the Lord of the Rings or Star Trek The Next Generation deck, if those get you interested in learning the tarot, then those decks are doing something good. Now, do I typically do readings for other people with my specialty decks? Only if I know they will appreciate it. So I use my Buffy and my Cannabis deck strictly for me and my family and my good friends. So, next
And
question.
then let's go let's go to what so where do you personally draw the line between treating tarot as a legitimate composition or a professional or compensated professionalism or unethical financial gain? Like, you see the fun little uh
Oh, so you mean like
psychic,
the readers who are on Instagram and that who will message you going, "Oh, I'm getting a message from the universe that I feel called to share with you because someone is trying to reach you." Yeah, about your extended car warranty, I'm sure. Um so those no. Those are not mm-mm. But also, I reference the Spiritual Practitioners Association. I have a code of conduct I have to abide by. I have an ethical agreement with SPA. Um,
Mhm.
and yes, it can be a legitimate profession. hence why I am Die the Yoga Witch. But there are morals and ethics that go into it, such as me trying to be gentle when sharing bad news. We don't lie by omission. And that's one thing that's important to me is even if I get horrible news, I'm not going to look at the Tower card followed by the Death card followed by the Two of Cards reversed or Two of Cups reversed and go, oh, your life is going to be all peaches and roses for the next few months. For those of you who do not know, the Tower, like I said, is chaos inbound. The Death card is the end of one phase of life, the beginning of another, and the Two of Cups reversed means divorce, separation, and the end of a relationship. So you get 3 negative cards and you're like, oh, your life is going to be so wonderful. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, and then that leads to, do you feel the intent of the cards changes if a reader is focusing entirely on monetization versus spiritual guidance?
No. No, the cards don't care. I wish they did, but the cards don't care. And a lot of times, even a new client should be able to figure out whether their reader is actually doing it because they want to help people and those who are out for money. I will do a reading and we'll go through the reading and I'll talk to the client about it, but I will never, ever, ever tell a client, okay, there's more here, but you need to come back next month or next week or whatever and pay me more. That is not something I do. Hell, I've had a client that he was strictly a tarot client paying for a tarot reading every month. And I'm like, dude, it would be cheaper if you did this, if you went and joined this, because then you would get it for free one a month and it would cost you less than what you're paying here. And he went, I don't care. I'll keep paying this. So, and you were with me when this next incident happened, our last event where I was sitting right inside the door where everybody was coming and going through trying to read my first reading of the day. I did it and I'm like, these are not really making sense to me. Are they speaking to you at all, to the client? And she said, no. I'm like, yeah. I grabbed her money, handed it back, and I'm like, I am going to move away from the door and hope that my cards will cooperate. If you want to come back, please come back a little later once I've gotten resettled, and we'll see if the cards will cooperate. Because I refuse to take... I do not take money from people for bad service. That to me is unethical.
Yeah, that actually leads to my next question, because I want to talk about how you make sure a space is safe. That the cards can, make sense. Is there any certain I want to
Are
say
you reading the spa blog right now?
Rituals. What?
Are you reading the spa blog right now? Because your questions are following our conversation.
Okay. I am not.
So how do I make sure? So basically, I'm going to answer this as how do I... Anyway, I'm going to talk about how we ensure that the space is ready for a reading. How do I prepare my space? First of all, I keep the cards protected and make sure that they are safe and cleansed. When they're in storage for any length of time, they get a piece of selenite tucked in with them to help them. I actually have a deck that's doing that right now. And then I make sure once a week I clean my desk. Y'all see me do it here on stream because I usually do it while I'm sitting here on stream because I'm thinking about it. ADHD witch, got to do it when I think about it. So I will make sure that my desk is clean. That is always my first thing. And then I prep the space. I will use Not that one. And a room spray. This is a lavender. It's a yoga room spray. I will either use a room spray, some incense, something to smoke or scent cleanse the room. I inevitably chime this, as James was saying. So I end up sound cleansing. And then as I am shuffling and prepping the cards for a draw, I have a specific number of times I shuffle and a specific number of cuts I make. And then music. And that usually puts me and my space into the zone to do a decent reading. Pumpkin seeds, yum. So, what questions do you have about reading? Because we talked a lot about me today. Let's see what your questions are.
Well, I mean, for me, I don't believe I'm psychic. I mean, I do believe I have some psychic tendencies, in my dreams, but nothing, that, And so when I do a reading, it not with the cards, but like when I mostly read when it comes to, do you believe that there's some sort of like, I call it like the Sherlock, like, the Sherlock mind? And this is my own vocabulary. I apologize.
Oh, are you talking like the mind library or the mind thing that he has where he keeps all of his memories?
Yes, and then
the mind palace. There
like,
we go.
Where he induced, the mind palace, and then when you like analyze someone, I feel like you do all those like little. For me, I feel that little like when I was doing that first reading that first time when we were like, we have lines of readers. It's like I'm like, okay, I know you're like a middle-aged woman. It's like you're getting into that medium little click. Do you find yourself doing any of that, or do you like when you're talking to someone like you can like okay, you are obviously like a 24-year-old woman, you might have just graduated college, like do you factor in that when you're doing your readings, or do you just strictly be like, okay, this is what I know from the cards?
Mostly it's just what the cards are saying. Now, kind of in alignment with what you are saying, with what you're talking about by taking age and everything into account, I will sometimes think, okay, you look like you're about my age, so some of the pop culture references are going to be aimed more at my generation. Or if I'm reading someone more your age, I'll think about what's pop culture that you would have lived with and would have enjoyed. But that's about it. I try very hard to be as neutral as possible while I am shuffling and dealing and pulling the cards, not dealing them, but y'all know what I mean. I have lived around too many frickin' casino people. But shuffling and pulling the cards, I try to keep myself and my thoughts out of it, and I do not try to pre-read a person before I pull their cards. Now, as I am reading the interpretations of them, then yes, I am watching body language, I am watching facial expression, I am watching them to A, make sure that this is landing, and B, that I'm watching for them to have a negative reaction so that I could either pull back a little bit and give them a moment to recover, or say, hey, I'm not comfortable with what they're saying right now. That was another thing that we talked about in spa recently, is checking in with the client while you're reading. Making sure they are okay, making sure you are not overwhelming them, making sure that they are getting what they paid for. So that's important to me. And that goes again back to when I did that with that first reading at the event. It did not work, and I'm like, I'm not going to make you pay me for something that made no sense. Morrigan. Hold on. Morrigan, depends on the deck I'm using. The deck that I'm currently using for Fridays does not do reversals, so I won't read them. Otherwise, I do reversals. There is someone else here that does not, and I cannot remember who it is. It might be someone who is not in the stream currently. Mimi, let me
He
know.
actually remembered one question. That comment actually got me to one question that I completely forgot I wanted to say about reversals, which is, like, do you, like, is it a negative, like, does it affect, like, the reading full if you do a deck that doesn't have reversals? Or is it no?
No. So a lot of people, and I count myself in this when I was first reading, a lot of people, when they get a reverse, when a card comes up reversed, they just assume it means the opposite of what it did upright. Hold on, Mimi. I'll show you with an oracle card because they're easier to grab right at the second. So here's today's oracle card. So this is upright. This is reversed. If you go back to yesterday's daily draw, I had one card, I think, that was reversed. Yes, we had one card that was reversed. Okay. So, but hold on. A lot of people consider just assume that a reversal is the opposite of what it means right side up, and I have learned that is not always true.
Yeah.
So
you would say that they're not always gonna have, like, they're not gonna, like, it's not like a good or bad situation. Like, you know, when you do a reading, like when you get a reversal, it's like everyone's like,
oh yeah, no.
You know?
Okay, case in point. As I just told Mimi, check out yesterday's daily draw, and one of the cards was a reversed card, but what that reversal was, and I want to say it's like the Ten of Swords reversed, rest and recuperation, which means good things. That's actually a good thing. There is one card, it's a Cups card because Cups deal with water and emotions and relationships. There is a Cups card that when it is in reverse, it's a good thing, and when it's right side up, it means conflict and chaos. Not chaos, but you know what I mean. And so reversals aren't always a negative thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was for me as a new beginner. It's like I always view as reversals as negative. So I would be like, I don't want to do this reading if I get a reversal, like, you know. So I'm like pre-looking at the deck. I'm like, okay, am I gonna, how am I I'm like, okay, so let's see how, But now I know it's like, okay, so maybe you do need to have those cards because they are telling you something that they are giving you a slap in the face that you might need.
Cosmic clue by 4 upside the head. Yep. I know a lot of readers who don't do reversals, and partly because of that. Because they're afraid of the, oh my god, it's a bad thing. But no. And again, it did take me a couple of minutes to figure that one out. Oh, God, did it take me a minute to figure that one out. And then finding out that there are decks, because, again, the Unicorn Tarot was my first deck. And it does do reversals, and then learning that there are decks out there that don't do the reversals. And, yeah, my Oracle deck that I use, the Della Luna Answers Oracle deck, well, any of my Oracle decks, I am so used to just grabbing my cards and shuffling them that with my oracles, I have to be careful to remember to turn one of my hands the other way so it doesn't shuffle with half of them reversed.
Now, with me, I am horrible at shuffling. How much of a key is the shuffling with the practice?
Very.
I mean, for me, yeah.
Okay, so you can't bridge. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, back to the Oracle deck. Nope, I'm gonna grab the tarot deck that goes with this. All right.
I'm like, I'm not a casino dealer.
Nah, that's Will's place. So, most people, when they think of shuffling cards, they're thinking, Okay, move cat. Yep. So they're thinking, bridge, right? Don't have to
Yeah.
shuffle tarot cards that way. It's just as okay to just sit here and shuffle like you would a TCG deck. I mean, if somebody were to bridge my Yu-Gi or Magic cards, I would probably slay them. But yeah, just and some of our fellow readers that we talk to regularly and will be joining us tomorrow, they just kind of keep shuffling until the cards feel like they're shuffled or the client says, okay, I think they're good. And then you cut the cards, you let the client cut the cards, and then you go. But the shuffling is important. I mean, otherwise you're going to be drawing the same 3-4 cards every time. Oh, we're getting to that one, Morrigan. And yes, I fully agree with your interpretation on it. In case you can't see, Morrigan says, how about the nonsense about never buying your own first deck? That was busting the major myths, which was Thursday. But yes, I agree with the nonsense of not buying your first deck. No, it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. So it wasn't realized yesterday, midnight yesterday. Yep. But, yeah. The whole, I'm going to address this question real quick, Kat. The whole don't buy your own first deck, it has to be gifted to you thing is such bullpocky. I'm trying not to swear. It is such bullshit. If you are lucky enough to be gifted a deck, fantabulous. If you are interested in tarot and you're the only person you know who is interested in tarot, you're not going to easily have someone who will gift you a deck. And then you're going to end up being that person who goes, hey, will you buy this for me? Because, superstition says don't buy your own first deck. Bullshit. And the thing that people say, well, if you buy your own first deck, it's not going to be as accurate or you're not going to connect with it as well. My darling, dear Witchling friends. This was my very first deck. My unicorns. I use this deck literally 6 days a week. Because even the one day I don't film or I don't stream, I'm usually pulling a card or two. And that is honestly probably the most accurate deck I own. And so, yeah. I've also got 30 years of a relationship with it. Ooh. How did you get to know your deck?
Okay, the one that I use a lot is the cat one. One of the cat ones. Because
Shock of shocks.
Of course, to me, I have a special connection. I have the special connection with cats, and of course, I usually do the readings with my on my boyfriend, and of course, it always he's like, oh my god, why is that so accurate? And it's always so cute to be like, okay, well, this. It's tying into, this is a tabby cat, so, it's giving you the message, like, from my own cat, if it's a black cat, I'm like, fuzzy butt, or rocket, sorry, I'm on my bed, I'm moving around.
You're good.
And so, I mean, I do have decks that, I think I have 4 decks that 2 I've used regularly, not, one I haven't opened yet, which I really want to open, which is the Native American one. But I'm kind of iffy on that one because, I'm not, like I said, I'm not, I have some, tribal ancestry, but like I'm not, I don't want to,
step on toes.
Yep. But yeah. But that one, but my also, like, I love the outdoors, so my favorite one that I've been using is the one that's, like, the national park.
Oh, that one sounds cool, though. That actually sounds really cool.
It's funny because Yeah, because it's so funny because the first card I pulled out of that deck, it had a white husky on it.
Well, then it was meant
And
to
if those who know
be.
me, I have a white husky. So like I always when I work with the decks, I'm like having a personal connection with it, which, really makes a difference with the intent in reading. And I do feel like I'm getting you know, messages that are just painfully accurate sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am interpreting them. It's like, okay, I see what you're telling me, and this is how I'm, and okay, this is what is going on in my life. I can relate to.
I like the fact that you
But
use
yeah.
your cat decks though, because it's so appropriate.
Mhm.
Um, come on, brain, catch up. There we are. So what cards? I'm gonna flip around on you. What cards are your favorite or least favorite to see in a draw?
Um, I recently did a like your year of tarot reading, a couple like months ago at the beginning of the year. And I've been it's the wheel. So I've been really looking out for that one because that's kind of like that's what like the reading the year told me. I resonate with it, and it's like, okay, so I'm noticing that when I'm popping up, when that pops up in my, with my own personal reading, because that's kind of like, okay, this is like your yearly path that you're setting on.
Yep.
I don't remember exactly the message. It was telling me a message of growth in career, so I'm waiting on that.
Hey, it's only been 6 months, 7 months, and
I
look at
know.
where we are right now.
Yeah.
So it has grown.
I Of course, if you know me, I am always looking at the death card. Um, because I do believe that it is, a meant of change. A meant in knowing my life, sometimes, death has to come to something to accept the change,
Yeah, actually, you're
or
very right
death,
there.
yeah, or again, death doesn't mean dying. It's just a process of rebirth.
Yeah. Oh, I hadn't worded it that way, but you're not wrong. A rebirth is
Mhm.
rather accurate there. I always my way of looking at the death card is all good things must end,
Mhm.
and
And all
the
bad things must end.
exactly all of
The death,
those.
the death to me could mean like a bad thing's gonna happen. So yeah, the bad thing's gonna end.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm gonna conquer
exactly.
it.
Well, that actually was the reading of the day when I pulled the reversed card yesterday. It was or maybe it was day before, but it was basically there's some shit coming because I pulled the tower, the death, and then the reversal, and the tower said chaos is coming, but it's the end of this horrible chaotic phase of everything, and rest and rejuvenation are coming, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, sounds about right.
Hope that was meant for me. um, is there like, do you have a favorite place to do tarot readings? Like, I've always wanted to do one at Renaissance Fair.
Oh, do I have a favorite place? I have very much enjoyed doing them at the markets that we've been to. Um,
Hmm.
the energy of the room that I did them in here in town was amazing. Loved that,
Hmm.
but um, I just like being able to do the readings face to face as opposed to over a
Hmm.
video. Which, by the way, I'm not opposed to. I like to be face to face because it's a little bit easier to exchange the energy that way, and the client can touch the cards and share energy with the cards. But if I could read anywhere, I want to take my tarot deck to Multnomah Falls now. Could you imagine sitting at one of the big waterfalls that we have access to, and just doing readings right
Hmm.
there in front of the waterfall? Could you imagine
Oh
that
yeah.
energy?
Hmm. I got a few
Okay.
places in mind.
So John says in the life code tarot, death is there, but in the background, light is coming up. So I see this as night ending and the birth of a new day. Exactly. And we were talking about the you have to be gifted your first deck. Morgan is saying it originates from competitive readers, which makes sense. And then pointed out that it's wands, coins, or pentacles, swords, and cups are the suits. That's what I'm looking for. My brain's starting to glitch. What other questions do you have about reading? Because as a new reader, you have a unique perspective on this that I have not had in a very long time.
Can you overuse cards?
Yes. Spiritual bypassing. Okay. So a lot of people, when they're going through some shit, we know people will turn to their faith or any kind of faith, anything to give them hope. And there are people who, and this goes back to, the old 900 psychic line numbers back in the 80s. People will put all of their eggs into the divination basket, and they'll keep going to the tarot reader because I need help, I need this, I want this, I want this, I need this, I need this. And the tarot reader, one with less ethics than I have, would just take their money and keep promising more results. Now, again, I'm not that kind of person. But yes, it can be possible even for someone who is reading for themselves to get too into it. I mean, come on, anything. You can do that with anything. Astrology, numerology, any type of divination. People can rely too heavily on it. And it does happen, frighteningly.
Well, okay, another question that I have is when I was first, diving into this, I've been, I signed up for that, weird, tarot reading, blog, where, or not blog, but, you sign in your information, and then, you get an email of a reading, So, how accurate do you think, I know, those actually are? Because what I was reading was kind of pretty,
Can be.
okay, at the time I was, 16. I just started, very much in love, and it's telling me all this, and it's like, oh, why?
Yep.
I just type in a few things on the internet, and here you are telling me my life story.
Yep. See, the thing that I enjoy about, and I kind of hate it, but I enjoy it at the same time, about getting a reading from a website. A lot of times, and I want to say tarot.com is one of them that does this. You click that you want a free tarot reading, and it just randomizes 3 cards. There is no actual shuffling, no pulling, no energy exchange at all. And it's just randomly pulling 3 cards. Yeah. I know what you're doing. And so that is truly the universe telling you what's going on. And that can be equally as accurate as a person pulling the cards and reading them. Personally, though, I'm not a huge fan of them because it takes the heart out of it.
Now, my last question, so that we can wrap it up, is kind of a when so a lot of times I'm my first ever real reading, I got a message which is totally not resonant with me, but it resonated with a people that I was with, and they got a message. I'm like, that's not you, and they're like, I know, and I'm like, no, I did not, and so it felt like our readings were switched. Have you ever witnessed that with a group of people when you are reading?
Yes. Yes.
When you're reading multiples.
Yes.
Or yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I had just had Spawn, and my now ex-husband, the guy I was dating at the time, and one other friend were sitting out on the patio having a smoke, and I was reading. Mind you, I was supposed to be reading the guy I was dating at the time. And I'd pull a card and he'd be like, yeah, no, that doesn't. Nope, nothing here. I remember clearly one of the cards I pulled said that somebody was going to get a promotion. One of the guys sitting there had just taken his test to advance to the next enlistment level, E1, E2, E3, or 4. He had just taken the E5 test. And he's like, I know I'm not going to advance, blah, blah, blah. And I pull this card and I'm like, promotion or advancement in your career? Did you take the test? No. You did? Yes, but I'm not. I'm like, whatever. So I'm pulling cards, and my boyfriend is like, none of this makes sense to me. Meanwhile, the other guy's sitting there going, nobody can ever read me, but what the fuck is going on here? He comes to my house the next day, the guy I am not dating. And he goes, how the hell did you know? Know what? I advanced, I made E5. And I'm like, cards told ya. I will not repeat what he said I could do with the cards. But yes. And yeah, I ended up marrying him, which also was predicted in that reading. So yes,
Well,
I have had that happen.
reading that I was given. Yeah, the reading that I was given ended up coming true for those individuals.
Yep. Okay, so while you're the one sitting down for the reading, if you have anybody else with you, the cards can decide on their own that they're going to talk to that person instead of that person. Drives me nuts. Yeah, or if you're thinking of someone, oh my God, the number of times I've had to reshuffle daily draws the last couple of weeks. I've been thinking about what's going on down south. Hey, Kiki. I've been thinking about what's been going on down south, and the cards have been screaming at them. And I have had to redirect my own attention while I am shuffling and pulling the cards, because I want them to I want them to speak to someone else out there. They do not need to talk to my kid. She can pull her own cards. Yes, Morgan John is one of the readers who will be joining us here in Witches Around the Cauldron later. But yes, John very much gets it. This man has a grasp on the cards that just blows me away at times. All right, y'all. This is us wrapping up. This is us wrapping up Witches Around the Cauldron. After class, Tarot 101, learning the language. All right, y'all. I am Di the Yoga Witch, and this has been our fun little conversation. We will see you next week. So please stay curious, stay grounded, keep the heart fire burning, and go out there and make some good trouble. Till next time, Namaste, Witchlings. Yeah, go hit the head. All right, hi. Yes. All right. So, hey, Tug. Okay, so we got a couple of minutes left. Hello, Monster. Hey, Mimi. Yeah. Ruhela. We were wrapping up chit-chatting about the Tarot 101 course that I've been doing lately. I am very, very excited about this. I saw that, John. I'm looking forward to it, to hearing what that is. I'm hopeful that things are going to straighten out. Yep. Kiki walks in at the end. Hey, we haven't seen you in a minute, so I was figuring you'd been busy. But yeah, life is interesting. I am having so much fun with the Tarot 101 thing, though. Yeah. I remember saying I needed to talk to one of the girls, but I cannot remember what about. I believe I did. but I cannot remember what the response was. Refresh my memory, Tug. Not bad. But okay, so that was Kat. Kat is my bonus kid, and she's also the marketing director for the business here. She's a new tarot reader, and she will be here on Fridays to get for Kat's Corner, the beginner's questions. Yes, and yeah, we're gonna be bringing in some of my friends and fellow members of the Spiritual Practitioners Association to talk about tarot, and we're going to discuss some of the stuff that we've covered in the week's class. This week, we just did the very basic beginning. What is tarot? Where did it start? What are the myths and the history about tarot? And then picking your first deck. Yesterday, we talked about actually getting out there and starting to read. Basically, take your deck and just look at your cards, right? Get to know your cards. Figure out what they look like, and let your intuition speak. It is a very broad topic. I am having fun with this. You should check out the videos from earlier this week. I can't remember. And I didn't write it down. I remember thinking I needed to, though. Grr. My best suggestion, if you can remember anything that we were talking about, Tug, check out my Linktree and send me an email, because my brain is fritzed. We have been prepping for the last week and a half for an event that we are going to tomorrow. I gotta get up ungodly early. Okay, ungodly early for me, because we will be taking off from here about the time I would normally be getting up. Sorry, had an important text. Yeah, I have, yeah. There we go. Okay, boom, there we go. Haha. Yep, I think we are ready to wrap up for the day. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for putting up with me as we get this new thing started. We're having fun. Oh yeah, gotta put the other glasses back on. Hee hee. Thank you, Morgan. Come on back for our normal daily stream. Starting Sunday. All right, everybody. Sunday through Friday, we do Di's Daily Divination, Witchy Wisdom, and Self-Care. Or, like this, Coffee and Cues with Di the Yoga Witch. All right, here we go. Hey Witchlings, quick reminder before we completely wrap up. This space is supported and does exist solely because of our Witchling community. There are no corporate sponsors here, just shared magic, mutual care, and a whole lot of love. So please help us out. Do the like, share, and subscribe thing. Join the channel if you have the financial means to do so. And then help us grow our community by telling a friend all about us. And now, my lovely, lovely witchlings, it's time to go out there and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness, because there's already enough darkness and hate and discontent out there. Let each of us choose to be steady lights of love and hope for those stumbling in the shadows. Make sure your loved ones on all their forms, 2 legs, 4 legs, wings, fur, scales, paws, or claws, know exactly how much they mean to you. Time is not a strict progression of cause to effect. It is more of a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff that moves faster than any of us realize, and that means those chances to say I love you one last time are never guaranteed. If you take one thing and one thing only away from everything I say and do here every day, every week, I really, really hope it's that you always remember this. You are loved, you are wanted, you are needed, and your purpose for existing is real, even if you don't know why yet. I love you guys so very much. I hope each and every one of you has the most fantabulously magical rest of your day or night, wherever you are. I will see y'all next time. Namaste, Witchlings.